So my name is Bayo. I like to get into stuff quickly. I don't like when we waste too much time early in the morning. So I'm all about money, and I believe that our life is our time is our life, and therefore I'm very particular about time. My topic is common sense innovation, and I'm going to start to attack this man. They asked him, how many people have you met? He said a lot. He said a lot. Number one problem. So what I decided to do, I was looking at my slides here. They ran me through it yesterday. My slide is like a guide. What I like to do when I teach classes is I teach you, they're supposed to put a board and a marker here. I like to write and teach you because I teach from my own experience. So that means that my teaching is limited. And what I decided to do, number one, was talk about the things that you can take away from the class. Okay? I don't want to waste your time. I don't want you to waste mine. If you have a debate and you don't agree with something, wait till we finish and go to a mirror and argue with yourself. I'll tell you why. Because like I said, my ideas, the things I'm going to teach you, is based on my experience. So it's limited to my experience. But I think my experience is vast. That's why I don't want them to read my bio. If you want to find about me, LinkedIn, Google, or something else can help you. Even ChatGPT. You'll bring an economics that is dead's name when you type my name in. The first thing that he said was common sense. And the first thing we say as Nigerians is that we say common sense is not common. Right? I think it is. I think we all have sense. I think we just sometimes don't know how to apply it. I think we all can think. We all can see things. We all can feel things. And every time I get a chance to teach my people in the office, the first thing I talk about is your eyes. Your eyes is your most powerful tool for data collection. Your eyes. It's not that notebook. It's not your hand. It's your eyes. It's the window to your heart. That's what they call it, right? And oftentimes, people underestimate the power of the eyes. I used to work at Walmart back in the day. And one of the principles at Walmart was leadership by walking around. I didn't quite understand it until I became a leader. Because I didn't have common sense then. Right? And in the organization that I lead today, I walk around quite a bit. Every chance I get, if I see that my schedule is free for an hour, I'll get up and I'll walk around the office. I'll joke with some people. Some people ask them, what are you working on? The guy will look at me and be like, I'm working on, actually, I know he's not working on anything. That means that we have too much capacity, right? And most time when people do that to me, the next time I go back, right, I'll ask you that same question. There's a guy, he left our organization on Friday last week. I noticed that every time I walk into his office, he's always either watching YouTube, on WhatsApp, or doing something funny. Like, we have a large organization, 800 people spread across 18 countries, okay? So I don't run a small company. But every time I walk into this guy's office, and I go into that office at least 3 times a week, like that area. I'm like, hey, how are you doing? What are you working on? The guy will look at me, pause for like a couple of seconds, and say things. Now, the point is this. I collected all that data with my eyes. Nothing else. So on Friday, which is the last work day of the month, I don't like us carrying problems over to the next month. So I said, come. Please come and show me what you have achieved in February. Now, we say this often at Waka now. We say, show me, don't tell me. Because your eyes is powerful. Your eyes cannot lie to you. Now, so when we talk about common sense, we must first realize that I'm going to be talking about your eyes quite a bit. Because I think that your eyes you have seen too much that you have ignored. I feel like saying amen. Okay. Your eyes. So, okay, should we talk about the brain a little bit too? Someone came to my house late last night. I wanted to sleep early because of this class. 10:25 was too early in the morning. And I told him about the movie I just watched. I watch a lot of movies. I watch more TV than the average individual. And I run 14 complaints. And I'm always at work. But I watch more TV. So I just got this 98-inch TV in my living room. It's quite large. It's quite large. So because of that, I like to go home often. I like to go home earlier than I used to. Like, I just have this affinity to go home, right? And then on this weekend, on Monday, I went home. We're in the office till I think I was in the office till 10. Then I went home and I wanted to watch a TV. I wanted to watch a movie. I was looking for something to watch I couldn't find. That's not the story. Anyway, I now found this movie that I've kind of passed by a couple of times. It's called Amora. I have this thing that gives me all the TV, all these movies, bootleg movies everywhere. And Amora is a Cinderella story of this girl that met this guy, this Russian oligarch guy, and they got married in Vegas, and the parents came and annulled the wedding, and I watched it. And at the end of it, something very pivotal happened. I can't talk about it on the mic. You have to go at the end of the movie, something crazy, because I thought the girl was madly in love with the guy, that she was a prostitute, by the way. And then she married this oligarch guy, and they had to annul the wedding. And as I watched it, Gabriel, you know Gabriel, the people at the back know Gabriel. Gabriel came to my house and tell me about head count. And again, and I told him that we should watch the end of that movie together. And we watched the end of that movie. And I told him what I learned at the end of that movie. And it was pivotal. The point I want you to get out of this thing is that, you see, when we talk about common sense, you have to also exercise your brain to interpret what your eyes have seen. And it's the consciousness that your eyes is a window, right? But it's your brain that then needs to absorb it, even in the smallest detail. The smallest, tiniest detail. The smallest of details is important. The smallest, the tiniest, the minutest of details. So, our first exercise for this class, is a class, right? I'm not giving a speech, right? They didn't give me blackboard and marker. It's not my fault, eh? So, I want you to look around the room and look for the smallest detail that you can share with me. The tiniest detail. Don't let it be big, right? Look for small things. We're going to build products in this session, so.
Flower.
No, I didn't tell you to tell me. Don't tell me. Flower is obvious. Everybody can see that flower. So you're not special if you can see flower. Because I can see flower. Are you with me? Find something that you think only you can see. And I mean that sincerely. You see, when we talk about product, when we talk about innovation, when we think that is this thing grand, should I tell you one? All the curtains in here are ruffled. It's like they don't have iron anywhere. Eh? Look now. Everything here is rumpled. Every single thing is rumpled. Your eyes. It's the same eyes, oh. We're in the same room. We're in the same room. I saw that the tiles are dented quite a bit. I saw dents on the tiles. Right? So, if I wanted to come and sell to Civic Center, I wanted to come and sell something to them, I'll tell them that I think that your event centers are perfect. I think that they are amazing, they are well located, they are this. I think you're missing a little bit of detail. If we come in and help you iron these rumple things, right? And we do it regularly, as you wash them, we make sure that they are well suited, you can charge 20% more. Did I build a product?
Yeah.
I just built a business. The business is ironing business. Where did it come from? My eyes. Then my brain interpreted it to build a business. A product is a business. A product is a business. And that is why I'm going to talk to you about building businesses, not products. Because oftentimes product managers are stupid because they come to us and tell us to build something, and we business people are looking at them and say, to what end? Yes, it's fancy, it's good. To what end? Why am I doing it? Why should I invest tech resources to do it? Are you with me? Amen. You're too serious. I like this second caption. I'm still on my opening slide though, this products that truly matter. Why do we build products? There's one word. Iro obere. He said solve problem. No. What? My man. My man. Can I shake you? Don't worry. It's okay. Can we start again? Why do we build products? Why do we build products? You are still using too much adjectives. What? Exactly. Now, let me back it up a little bit and I'll talk about a couple of things that is not in my slide that I thought about this morning that I want to make sure that if I have a room of people that want to build products or work in Scrum or work with Agile, I talk about is every single person that wants to be successful must take things through the entrepreneur's lens. Oh, thank Jesus. An entrepreneur's lens says that if it were my money, would I do it? Don't worry. I got it. Don't worry. You want us to move it down? No. Better? No? Don't worry. The people here are not paying attention anyway. Better? Okay. You just adjusted our product. Rumble too. And they have a rumble problem here. They do. Thank you. They have a freaking rumble problem. They cannot definitely. So basically, they need a straightener. You need a straightening officer. No. Because my product has covered 80% of the room. And I don't care about them. You never can capture 100. Exactly, but I don't want to stand there because I feel uncomfortable on this stage. Dialogue? No, it's authoritarian. I have the mic. Is it moving? Is that challenging? Is the product moving? Did the product move 1 inch? Exactly. Look, guys, the point I'm trying to make to you, I'm trying to tune your brain somewhere, right? Are you with me? I'm trying to tune your brain somewhere, right? Because this happens quite a bit when we build products. We're like, you know what? For aesthetics sake, you should move it to the left. I'm like, oh, Benny, they're already clicking it on the right. It's not common sense. Both of them work. The common sense really is that somebody brought this. This is the common sense. Not the positioning. The positioning is what we call UI UX.
True.
Right? User experience. But in his own consideration of the customer experience, if for God I'm the one going to be standing, my back is already paining me if I take this stage and I don't feel comfortable because I can hear it move. And I'm a fat guy. Falling is a bad thing for me. Imagine I just fall. Jesus. Let's go to my next slide. So let's get into the meat of it. We have an hour. I don't even know what I'm going to say for an hour. We're going to cover why common sense innovation. We're going to cover the power of overlooked data trends. I started talking about that. You want to say something? Yeah. How many customers do you talk to?
What I'm saying, this is the person paying you the money.
You are saying the same thing, then you have no opinion. You are building for one, then you listen to one. Listen, if you're in my house and you are building for me, and I tell you I want my TV upside down, your opinion doesn't count. You are building for one.
Okay.
Are you there? Uh-huh. You have another question?
I also wanted to, but like,
you're not satisfied because you can't get your question out. I know your question. I will not help you. But go on.
what the consumer is asking for doesn't
Consumer. Let's talk about how many of them are you talking to?
What? But it doesn't make sense.
How many of them are you talking to?
One.
Oh my goodness, we've passed one. Oh. And we should not use the word consumer for one customer. You are not an entrepreneur when you are attending to one customer. You're an apprentice. You are artisan. You are building for one. Are you with me? You see, guys, the point is this. We get into this thing, and you are taking me away from my topic, but I'll try to come back. Is we get into this thing where we talk about the customer. The customer said they don't want it. I'm like, how? How did they tell you? How did they tell you? How did the customer tell you that they don't want it? How did the customer tell you that they don't want it? How did you listen to the customer? Are you tracking that thing? You have a Google tag on it. Did it tell you that 80% of customers, when they click this, they don't go back? Did it tell you that this punch, I have a drop-off rate? Did it tell you that this? That's why I have to talk about data. That's why I started from your eyes, because you consume that data of the customer trend from your eyes. Does that sound bothering? Exactly. Nobody has said anything. So why should I stop? One person might be looking at me with bad eye. I didn't say nothing. There is no data to justify me stopping. Do you get the point? Because we make decisions based on how we feel, not what the customer said. There's still common sense. Common sense is when you are shopping. We have this chat board. I'm critiquing our own business now. We have this chat thing that when you are shopping on, if you use the expensive phones, you know that Fold, Samsung Fold? And when you use that phone, because our product team does not build for that, because most of our product guys don't have that type of phone. So when they are trying to do the modulation of mobile reactiveness of the website, they don't consider that type of phone. So there's a chatbot that when you are shopping, stays on the place you click continue. Right? But I swear to God, I am the only customer complaining. Because I use that type of phone. Right? But the truth is that common sense wise, it's obvious that the chatbot, the option to chat, blocks continue. That one I don't need customer feedback because it's wrong. Are you with me? So it's obviously wrong, and the customer said. And when you want to build product, I believe there's a combination of things. That number one, there's common sense. Common sense is that it doesn't work. Right? It's obstructive. It's disruptive. It doesn't work. Data is the customers are not buying. The customers are not clicking. Data. Common sense, oftentimes, is your eyes. Data is collected. Discovering hidden trends, how to spot and act on untapped trends, case study, and we do Q&A. It will be a very nice session to do Q&A. I like answering questions. Next slide. Number one, innovation is not complex. I didn't say there are no complex innovations. But I said innovation is not complex. I think sometimes they've kind of sowed it in our hearts that every time we want to build something, it has to be hard. Right? And people that work with me will tell you that sometimes it's just the little things. It's just the little things. So I want you to please write this down if you have a Bayo and a pen. If you cannot explain it simply, you do not understand it enough. If you cannot explain it simply, you do not understand it well enough. So I like interviews. You know, I love interviews. I love interviewing people, and they come up like, oh, so tell me what you've been working with. Like, man, we're building this product, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, so explain it to me. About say, oh, really, it's complicated. I'm like, olodo, lily, olodo. You will not get that job. You cannot get that job. You can, because in your mind, you have built this persona of complication on something that is really simple. But I love when I chatted with someone last week, and it was a chat. We didn't know, I don't have a position for her, but I chatted with her. We had a chat. I like to do chats over lunch and stuff when I want to hire senior people. And this one came to the office, and we had a chat, and I told her something. I said, travel business is the most complicated business you've ever worked in. I didn't say hardest. I just said complicated. And she was like, oh, it cannot be as complicated as financial services. And I said, okay, tell me about the complication of financial services. She started telling me about how this one integrates with this one, and that one talks to this, and you have to deal with this, and you have to deal with that. And I said, okay, come to the board. Let me show you travel. And I went to the board, and I started from a small box. By the time we were done, it looked like a child writing jaga jaga on the board. Literally. Let me just tell all of you in the room, if you don't believe me that travel is complicated, start a travel agency and go online. I'm not even joking. I will buy your company. I'm not joking. Oh, we're always looking for companies to buy, by the way. We can't find any. Literally. The point is that innovation is not complex. Innovation is taking that step. The white man is not in the room, Abby. I don't agree with that. We should not do the same thing over and over again. Hell yeah, if it works, we should continue doing it. Hell yeah. If it works, we should continue doing it. We should continue doing it. We should only find a faster way to do it. Eh? You see, because you know when I said at the beginning, I'm going to teach you from my own standpoint. Eh? It's not textbook. I didn't write it down in a book. Eh? I believe that if something works, right? If something works and works well, what you should do is continue to drive that, right? Leave it alone to continue to run. Go somewhere else and go and innovate. Leave that one alone. Because I think that oftentimes in the name of innovation, we build complexity. And the complexity is not what the customer wants. The customer just wants to pay you. You know, I've asked people that this QR code thing that you guys are trying to move to, how the hell is it going to work? Oh, then I bring out my phone, I scan a QR code, and then where do I go to? I go to my bank app, or I go to your app, or I go to some app. Or, okay, you go to one app, then you click the app, then you log in, then you transfer money. But if I don't scan, and I just read the account number, I can type it to my bank, right? And work. So what Bayo will do is say, okay, I agree with you, product managers, I want to launch this QR code there. But you see, let our bank transfer, let's leave it alone. And we collect 15 naira on it. Let it continue to run. Right? Now come on this side, let's create a special team if we have the budget. So now go and be trying this QR code because I might be wrong. Innovation is not complex. Don't overcomplicate innovation. Let's start simply. Let's just start simply. Let's just start simply. And I want to go back again and talk about understanding businesses and taking your time to observe. I want to go back to the power of observation. I go to the market to go buy my own meat. I'm very picky about the part of meat I eat. I'm very picky about my food. Extremely picky. I'm actually picky about life, generally. Just kind of person I am. I'm not picky about clothes or things like that. When it comes to food and the things I put inside my temple, you know, the Bible says that your body is the temple of God. Like, that's why I don't drink alcohol that is 12 years or 15. It has to be 18, old enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just choices that I make in life that is very intentional about, the choices, like, you know, the intentionality of my choices. I don't like, how should you be drinking underage alcohol? Who does that? You know, I won't do it. Like, I don't know about that. It's not about the cost. I talk about just what you put in your... I'd rather drink water than put cheap alcohol in my body. My body, not yours. Mine. So I go to the market to go and buy my meat. I like the ribs. The rib part of the cow. The people that sell meat in Jack on the market know me. When I come, I buy as many ribs as I can find. It's quite pricey, but I don't want them to take out the meat, the bones. I want them to cut it with the bones, right? But I keep going, and every time I go, I have questions for them. I'm like, so how do you pay for the cow? The guy said, oh, the POS guy borrows us money. Because I noticed that every time I show up, the POS guy is right beside me. And he does not leave the place. Even when another customer comes, the POS guy is there in that local market. I'm like, why is this POS guy always here? And it's the same POS guy. He said, we borrowed the money to buy the cow from him. So what happens is that when they go to the abattoir in the morning, he blows them 600,000 naira to buy a cow. They bring the cow to the market, and he stays with them and does collections for them. And I said, okay, so if you buy a 600,000 naira cow, how much do you make with the 600,000 naira cow? He said, sometimes 700, but there might be some meat left. I said, God damn. Okay, how much will the POS guy collect? He said, that he will collect 50K on 600K. I said, okay, how many times a week do you do this? They do it 6 times. So 600K, the guy makes 300K every week. He makes a 50% return on a 600K investment. Oh, by the way, he's just turning that 600K over and over again, right? And he makes 300K a week. That means in 2 weeks, he recovers his capital. And he starts trading with his profit. That means in a month, he doubles his profit. He triples his principal. Yeah, 600, 2 weeks, yeah. Right? And I was there and I observed. And I've been thinking about how to build a business behind it. Why? Because I have understanding and it's not complex. The complexity is collections. How many POS people do I hire to go and stand beside the meat guy and collect? You then start to ask questions. But you see, the truth about it is that I can talk about businesses from now till tomorrow, and I'll tell you that it's not complex. Oftentimes, you just sit in your house and overthink something that you do not understand. That's why DeepSeek came and did the models that ChatGPT did for a fraction of the cost. That's why the people that disrupt the industries actually spend less. Because innovation oftentimes is not complex. I didn't say there's no complex innovation. Please, don't quote me on that. There are some things that are super complex. I can tell you one work I did one time that sometimes when I think about it, I use X and Y coordinates of the items in the store to determine the items. I use X and Y coordinates. Okay, when you have a shelf, in sophisticated retail, you have something we call the floor map, right? We call it the floor plan. The floor plan then has what we call a gondola. A gondola then has a positioning on the shelf. So you have 2 coordinates, X and Y coordinates in the store and the X and Y coordinate on the shelf. And then I have the store's X and Y coordinates. I then use that to log into the US Census Bureau to look at profitable areas, rich areas in America, to then look at which one drives the business more, position on the shelf, proximity to another product, or position in the store, or the store itself. I then did what we call an X-gap analysis, right? Using JGash to analyze the data and to come up with affinity stores and determine what I put in them different from another store. And I did that for 5,000 stores, and that for 2,000 items. So 5,000, 2,000 item combination with X and Y coordinates 3 times. And I did that, and it was fun for me to do that. It was complex because I was trying to innovate on how to drive more and optimize my shelves, right? This was when I was at PetSmart. And it was fun, it was complex. Every time they sit me down to explain it, I always have to take a marker. I said, yes, we take this bubble and that bubble, but I can explain it because I understand it. And I understand it because I went to the store and I went to watch. I actually drove to 30 stores. 30 stores. I flew all the way from, I was in Arizona at the time. I flew all the way to Ohio to go and observe his store. I was there for a week. Everyone was like, why are you in Ohio? I said, I don't want to watch. And I would sit in the store and just watch. I was going to write a mathematical equation, okay? But I cannot write that equation if I don't understand the customer behavior. So what's the most powerful thing in innovation? Your eyes. There's some innovation that you have to envision because it's not physical. I think in Africa, what we're missing today is that we don't have a lot of innovators that truly understand the consumer. I truly believe that. The guys that understand the consumer don't have the ability to innovate at the scale that we can. That's why I respect those Igbo boys in Ladipo markets and in Balogu markets. I respect them a lot because they understand you and I better than we understand. We that were building retail businesses don't understand them. I used to bring shoes back in the day to come and sell. I used to bring shoes from America. I've done a lot of business. I've sold snakes, So, ejo. And I used to bring shoes from America. We used to bring 4,000 pairs of shoes. We tried to sell it in one day. We always sold out, And when we were setting up, we used to set up a City Mall or Silver Bed at the time. Those were the poppy malls at the time. You can tell it's old school. But when we were setting up, I would leave the setup and go to Balogun Market. Every single time. I'll go to Okari Market. I'll go to the shoe sessions there. And I'll go and look. I'm already here. Oh. My brother's already here. Right? And I'll go there. I'll price there. Gladiator sandals was a thing then. It was big. I used to sell women's shoes, not men. Men have two shoes, brown and black. Right? They're not my ideal customer. Women have pink, red, wedge, heel, stiletto, high heel, platform, flats, bends, boats. They have like all types. Wedges, so I like to sell women's shoes. It was more, my eyes told me that they wear more than men. And I go there and I go look at the price of Gladiator sandals. Then they would sell Gladiator sandals at 1,300, 1,400 was the average price I get Gladiator sandals. Right? That night, I would launch an ad and say, all my Gladiator sandals are 500 naira. 500. My landing cost was about 400. Once I released that to the market, the next morning, we open at 9. At 8 o'clock, the Balogun seller that I spoke to yesterday will be on the line. Because his own cost of getting Gladiator sandals was 700 naira. 800 naira. I'll not tell them at the door. I'll not walk out and say, when you buy Gladiator sandals, you must buy 2 shoes. So for every 5 Gladiator sandals that you have, you must buy 2 stilettos or 2 wedges or this. And they'll be like, we don't sell it to somebody else. But you must buy it. But the profit you make on this one is big enough to pay for your cost on this one. My shoes used to be 5,000 naira or less. I swear. And it wasn't China. It was from the US. And I would sell out. I mean, sell out. But people thought that my sellout was because I brought good shoes. My sellout was because I understood the market. I went to the local market, I understood their pricing, I understood what they had, I understand their offering. And because of that, I innovated on my pricing to sell more. Are you with me? Yeah. So if you're a product manager in this room, the first question I ask you is that, do you even understand your business? Beginning to end. Do you look at your competition? Do you look at what they do? I love competition. You know why? They either, okay, I love them and I hate them at the same time because I don't have full data on what does not work. And oftentimes we lead the market. In travel, Wakana leads the market. I'm not afraid to say that in West Africa, we lead the market. If we do something, everybody follows. Sometimes I want to do bad things that I know does not work so they can just follow me to hell. Because they follow us so gullibly without actually even giving it time to see that even if I go shop, does it work? Like I said, innovation is not complex. And you have to innovate for your customer. Oftentimes, what your competition does is not for your customer because you have a different customer. All right, next slide. Sorry, let me just say one more thing. One more. Many PMs chase over-engineered solutions. You just want to write code and continue to write code on top of code and code on top of code when the customer just wants to buy a simple pencil. All the customer wants to buy is buy pencil. You know what? The customer does not even care about quick because you are the only one that has the pencil. They just want to make sure that actually what the customer wants is for the pencil to be delivered to them. The process of buying, all I want, honestly, I don't buy things online because of the complexity of delivery. The rider will call you, and then the rider will call you, "Oga, I can't find the house," and you look outside, the rider is right there. And he will call you and call you. I wonder how much credit they buy on those their small phones. They call and call. I think I bought once, and the rider and I wanted to fight. Because the rider was telling me I have to transfer money. I said, I have paid. What the customer wants is just to receive their goods. And you are there writing code on how for them to buy. TikTok. TikTok realized that people go on YouTube, spend a few minutes, look at videos, and they skip. TikTok created TikTok and said, you don't even need to have an account to watch us a little bit. Simple. Why did they find out that people watch videos? I'm sure the people that created TikTok find out that they only watch a few seconds and then skip. Their eyes. WhatsApp. BBM, for those of you that are old, I see he has white hair. Yes, sir. You use BBM, Abby? Because the Gen Zs here will not know what BBM is. Yeah. No, the Gen Zs here don't know BBM. Stop now. Stop. Stop. You are not Gen Z now. Come on. Right? Listen, in the days of BBM, your pin was so powerful. Your pin, like just having those, was it 6 digits or so powerful. I met my wife on BBM. And my wife I married. I created a group on BBM called Why Am I Single? My wife joined. I saw her. I was like, damn, son. Literally. Then I was selling shoes. So I had a lot of women in my contact. So when I sent a broadcast to my pin, she added me and joined the group. And I was like, oh, damn. And here we are, married. The point I'm trying to make to you was WhatsApp looked at the failure of BBM and built on top of it by saying that now let's use your email. Actually, it didn't used to be your email. It used to be your phone number for WhatsApp. And they did it, and it was over protocol, and it was not tied to a phone. BBM was tied to only BlackBerry. They democratized the access to web instant chatting. By the way, it didn't even start from them. It started from the days that we used to use Control G to bust people on Yahoo Messenger. You don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry. When you do Control G, the person's computer will shake. Back then. Buzz, we used to call it buzz. And you can only do it, I think, once every 5 minutes. And you used to chat. We used to go to, for those of you that don't know, let me take you down memory lane. We used to go to cyber cafes to go chat with our girlfriends that were at home. We used to have a time at 5 o'clock, you come to cyber cafe, and then you go, and then you stay there. It was a Yahoo Messenger or one box. Right? Or MSN. There was MSN. There was AOL. I used to stay there and just chat. Yahoo Messenger was big. And BBM came and said, you don't need to go to a computer. WhatsApp said you can do it on your phone. They built on top of that. But how did they observe that we had a problem? Was because they probably used it, touched it, felt it, said, look, there's a problem here. Let us democratize. Money Point. You see, every time I look at Money Point has been around with team apps and things like that. I don't think we talk enough about them. The first thing that they did was instant confirmation of transfer. Let me just tell you about that instant confirmation. I'm a business owner. On Money Point, I have 48 POSs for one business. 48, not Waka now. Oh, let me plug my business real quick. I also own Wave Beach and Athena Beach, and Wave Beach House, and Wave Beach Hall, and Wave Beach Aquarium, and Wave Beach Theme Park. So if you're looking for somewhere to go this weekend, please come relax. And Wave Beach, we charge 10,000 naira Friday, Saturday, Sunday to come in, but you can go Monday to Thursday and not pay anything. Amen? All right. Athena, you can become a member. For those of you that have money, 5 million naira, you become a member. It's an exclusive beach. You can check it out online. It's beautiful, stunning. If you don't like it, you return your money. As I was saying, we use 48 POSs to collect money. And the reason why I love those POSs is that once you transfer, it confirms. It will print receipts and give you. Because the cashiers were robbing us blind before. They will bring their own POSs from home. They still can bring the POS, but now there's a lot of check, because what we do is randomly we'll change the POS. We just say, oh, give us your POS, take another one. Good job, continue. Yes. Then our accountant will go look at the back end and see the dashboard. Money Point innovated on something that has existed. We have always loved transfer in this country. By the way, I don't know why we continue to promote card. It's too expensive. Transfer is free. The consumer pays the transfer fee. And they innovated around transfer. By the way, 70% of our collection, or 80%, even not more, of our collection at Waka now is transfer. 80. How many percent? 80? But we don't do, POS is, okay, transfer. Yeah. Still have some card payments. 80% is transfer. Oh, we'll be the king of transfer collection. We still collect card. You remember what I said? If it works, continue. Nigel, I support you 100%. But if it works, continue it. Just innovate on top of it. That's why the POS machine still accepts card. Well, I'm about to run out of time. This one was supposed to be spot and act on eating trends. Supposed to be an action for the class. I'm not sure I have time, so let's skip. You can pay me to come back. talk about Airbnb, and I must talk about it because oftentimes, you see, common sense innovation is building on an existing. People think it's about solving problems, right? Sometimes it's about finding something that somebody is making money from and build on top of it. I don't like that we want to always solve problem. We're not Jesus. Sometimes I've always wondered why we can't do bottle sharing. In Nigeria, we like to buy bottles that anywhere else in the world. You guys know that, right? That in most countries, like the US, we don't go to a bar and buy a bottle. You buy by thought. You buy shots, like double shot. You buy cocktails. You don't buy bottles. Like if you go to a bar in London and say, oh, can I get a bottle? I tell you, you're buying champagne. Right? Like, can I get a bottle of wine? But we will say, hey, Glen 21, one bottle, bar. And you know, guys, you sit down and, like, literally. I've thought about it that what if there was a place where I could say, hey, I'm going to Vertigo, does somebody want to share a bottle? Might be foolish. Right? But it was an idea. But the problem is that I'm observing that the consumer behaves this way, and I'm saying, can I create a solution for how they behave? Actually, can I create a way to make money around how they behave? Somebody once told me that they wanted to create an app that when you want to go to a nightclub, you can pre-buy all your bottles and prepay before you even show up. So basically, you can say, you know what? I have a crew of 10 people. I want to pay for this, so you can plan your budget. So you show up, you drink, you go home. It sounds simple, but I know a lot of us will use it for budgeting. It even says that on the app, you can start to pay today for your going out on Friday. So you can pay gradually. You can pay small. It's a Wakana product under our... They say we should not spray money, Abi. They say, why can't we create an app that we can spray on? Owambe is a massive industry. Massive industry. Every weekend we spend about 40 billion on parties and clubbing and stuff. Every weekend in Lagos. The Lagos weekend economy is 40 billion naira. All of us are chasing fintech. Airbnb started by saying people like to rent out their rooms when they're not around. How do I do more? Renting out rooms became Airbnb. I think it's valued at God knows what, 20B, 90B. From saying room sharing. It's not complex. It's about applying ourselves to the things that we see. Let's go because of time. I wanted us to break into groups. I wanted us to outline a strategy. I had a whole full plan for you that I don't have time for. But I think that it will be a worthy session for us to actually go and build a product right there in the room. Right there. Right? Like divide ourselves into 5. We can't do it now. But maybe you and your friends can do it as a, like you rent Airbnb and do it as a game. At night, it'll be fun. Like Monopoly. Where you actually build real life products on what you see. You know, on the way here, if I found a coffee shop that was a drive-through, I'll have stopped and bought coffee. And if they sell puff, it'll have been perfect. And I always wonder that if they turn the Ikoyi link bridge, no, not the link bridge, the toll gate to a coffee shop, some part of it, then what would happen? I don't know. Oh, you think products always tech, Kabi? Oh, wow. That is the place that we can just stop, puff and coffee and tea. Puff, coffee, tea. That there's a corner that you know that last one. Since we're not using it for toll anymore. How much coffee and puff would I sell? And it only opens from 6 a.m. and close at 10. That's it. Then I can go to the office. I started a company that sells fried yam, fried plantain. It's called Dundu Nation. Yeah, Dundu Nation. We sell, don't worry, the Gen Zs, don't worry. I opened a while back. We opened and scaled to 25 locations. It was foolish because I was chasing mass market. It's one of my most successful businesses now. And it's not very popular. Actually, it's less popular than it used to be, and it's more successful. Let me leave you with a couple of sayings. What else do I have? Next slide. Oh, I have to talk about execution. But I want to leave you with a couple of sayings. Cool is not equals to cash. Cool is not equal to cash. You write it down so that you don't forget. The coolest is not the most, doesn't have the most money. There's one guy that lives in Egbeda. He bought a whole street. You know Egbeda. He sells iron rod. None of us in this room is innovating around iron rod. None. But guess what? Every construction site uses iron rod. But we're not innovating around it. Nobody's innovating on how to sell more cement at a cheaper price and deliver it on time. Or sand. Or gravel. Fintech isha. That's what everybody wants to do. Do you know that in the world of travel, we have no online competitor that is Nigerian? Zero. Do you know that? You're thinking, Abi, you want to call travel better. They died like 20 years ago. I'm not joking. They are number 38 on the scheme of, on the list of complaints. Literally, like number 1 to number 20 are offline. Oh, there's one more that is online, right? I will not mention their name. They're like number 8, but they're South African. There is no Nigerian OTA, online travel agency, in the whole of West Africa. By the way, when we went into Sierra Leone, we're the first online company in Sierra Leone, apart from Expedia, Booking, and the likes of Oyinbo people that we pay money to. Like I said, are we innovating to solve our own problems, or we are overcomplicating our own problems? Right? Execution is everything. You can build the best ideas, build the best app, build the best tool, build the best everything, and you don't execute, it's dead. My friends call me a good seed, a good ground. If you come to me and you whisper an idea to me, and I believe in that idea, if you close your eyes and wake up, we have executed. Executed. Because I believe in failing fast. No, but I have money. So be careful. Because there's some things that sound great and sound bites. But the reality of it is that I can fail fast because I have a financial backing that allows me to go quickly, lose money, and say, right? But if you don't have money, then be a wise man and only test the depth of water with 1 foot. Only a poor man, only a stupid poor man, right, will jump inside. They see a puddle, and they say, let me see how deep it is, and they jump like this. But somebody that has rope around their waist, that's money. We say, what will happen if I jump and it's deep? The rope will pull me back. I won't die. Are you with me? That's the difference between where you see people go fast and people go slow. But execution is everything. Go to market. 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 Whether it's common sense, whether it's foolish sense, whether it's whatever, go to market. Don't have one customer. You will eventually die. Because that one customer, the day you piss them off, you look at their wife funny, or they look at your wife funny, and you guys get mad at each other, they will quit their business, your business will die. I like businesses with a lot of customers. Somebody called me this morning to advise them on, they wanted to start an art gallery, and I told them straight up, I do not know about how to sell to HNIs. I don't. I know how to sell to mass market. That's what I'm good at. That's what I know how to do. Because I like business that have a lot of customers. Let me take some questions, and I hope I've been helpful at least a little bit. So, oh wow, that's not me. That's TY below. See? By the way, okay, let me not talk about it. Do you know that nobody has innovated around coffee in Nigeria? Nescafe flashing mojo. Happy coffee, yeah. Where are they? Coffee is a 90% margin business. Not the people that sell it. Oh, there's another thing. Okay, I'll use the board again. Finally. There's something that I always want to show people. You have to choose where you play. I have to always talk about wealth. You have to choose where you play. There are 2 places you can play. And I'll use a good example. Right? I'll try to mask some of the things. I buy water at 100 naira. So the true cost of water is 100 naira. In one of my businesses, I have a liquor store. The liquor store sells water at 200 naira. Then I have a lounge, right? That is almost like a general purpose lounge. People just go in and out of it. It sells a shitload of water. Last week, they sold 6,000 bottles of water. But they sell that water at 2,200 because of VAT. Mommy, that's lay now. Where do you want to innovate at? Where should you innovate? Where should you spend time innovating on? Between here and here? Or between here and there? Oftentimes we live here and here to illiterate. And then uneducated. I swear. And we sit down and continue to innovate here. Continue to fight ourselves between here and here. That's the story of fintech in my mind. And the people making the big bucks are people that go to the end consumer. The end consumer. So you must choose where you want to play. Because you see wealth is not, is democratic. All it cares about is whoever attacks me, right? So you must choose where you want to play. All right, I'm out of time. Let me take questions. Any question? You don't have question? Question is always a sign of intelligence. So,
First, I want to say, as simple as it sounds, it's been a quite revealing session, and I want to say thank you for that. And that being said, I'm your number one person that you were speaking to, i.e., overthinking, leaving that, and over-processing, making the same thing very complex, as simple as it sounds, to be able to generate money. I'm sure you've met quite a lot of people that are multi-potentialites, right? And they have tons of skills, but they are stuck in the paralysis analysis phase of their life. What would you say to them in terms of, like you said, it's common sense, but I'd like to hear a personal experience, because I'm sure you've met quite a lot of friends. What you say, as simple as it is, that you can just go, you're being a child in the rare sense, but not many people get to exhibit being childlike. The training is not about fancy slide, it's just you sharing your personal story. What have you told to a friend of yours that has been in this bubble, because I know it's a reality, paralysis analysis, overcomplicating things, and just, rather than just go and go do it, like you said, you went to Okeari, you sat there, observed, crashed the market, brought them, it's not easy to do that. So what would you say to someone like that? Thank you.
I don't know what to say to you, but I think that a lot of times, a lot of you are trying to be an entrepreneur when you need to go get a job. Let's start from there. You need to go get a job and learn. And then our organizations make money. Number one. Number two is you have to be humble. You don't know what you don't know. Come and sit down. You don't know what you don't know. And come on now. The product is sit down here. Thank you. Turn it to them, not me. Turn it to them, not me. Let the customers see. That wasn't me. Good job. Just put it up now. Just put it like this. I'll say this to you. I believe in the stewardship of employment. I've always been employed. I've always been employed. I do my business. I do a lot of things. I think, I know that I make more money from what I do than my employment, but I'm still employed. And what I learn on employment, you can't teach me outside of employment. You see, entrepreneurs miss some lessons that corporate teaches you. Corporate teaches you structure, teaches you how to manage mad people. Entrepreneurship, you just fire them. I'm not joking. There are people in the organization that I can't fire. Not because I don't have the power to, but because I know that they are valuable to the organization. Even though I don't personally like them. So I have to deal with them. Entrepreneurship says if I wake up and I don't like your face, I say, but it's a weakness that comes from entrepreneurship. Corporate teaches you structure, how to send correct emails, how to engage partners, how to do partnership. It teaches you all the structure, how to build product that people will argue with you. Entrepreneurs, especially in Africa, we miss this thing where everybody says, Oga said, and you miss the lesson because nobody argues with you. I'm happy that I'm in a place where I build organizations where people argue with me and say, no, Bayo. I remember Mukhtar is in the room, wanted to take something off our website that impacts his business, and was like, Bayo, no, this is why you should not do it. And I said, no, do it. No, do it. Because I wanted to see how fast you push back on me, right? But the point is, that only happens in professional settings. Going back to your question, as a Nigerian, let me say this to you. Don't be arrogant and ignorant. Be aware of what you do not know. And be humble enough to go learn it. If you want to build a product for some industry, go to that industry and go learn. Go spend time there. Don't assume. And sometimes we build products because we do not understand. You do not understand why. You see, there was a rub bottle that was on the way to my house. As I want to enter my door, they put a rub thing. You know, rub metal. They put it on the door. And it used to annoy me when I moved into the house, why this rub thing was there. And one day I was like, this is why we innovate. And I took plier, and I went there and removed the rub bottle. Then I closed my door and it never opened again. I was like, call the carpenter. The rub was there as a stopper for the door not to go too further in. But I did not take the time to ask a question to say, why did you put this rub cap here? For me to gain understanding on the rub cap. Instead, I thought I know it all because I've seen how great doors work in America. Then I removed it and I spent money to call carpenter. Ladies and gentlemen, the little things and the inefficient. When people talk bad about Nigeria, somebody said about our immigration being slow. Yes, it has to be slow. Yes. It's a product that is built to be slow. I'm not joking, but I mean it sincerely. If I don't want to go on, I'm on camera, I'm on all. If you hear the intricacies of why our immigration process of visa on arrival has to be slow, intentionally, you will not argue. A lot of us don't gain the understanding. We just sit upstairs and critique. So I encourage all of you, go take lessons, go learn the in and out, ask questions. Why? Find somebody that will not give you as part to perspire answers and tell you the truth and say, this one is here because of this. You see, these people do fraud. There's a reason why we put this here, so that when they do fraud, we'll catch them here. You will not say, oh, it's a long process, because oftentimes my time is up. All right? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Bayo. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
The ability to talk about building products, building businesses, working agile, working smartly, working efficiently makes it pertinent to business and for the scale of business to do well. So I thought and I think that this conference is important. We have about 30 people from my organization here just to come and listen and learn from other speakers, and it was interesting. And my session was built to be super interactive because we wanted people to engage. And the way my teaching style teaches people, I want them to remember. I don't want it to look like another course or another class. And I hope that was what happened. The engagement was good. The interaction was good. The back and forth, the questions, and the full interaction was amazing. I would always do this again. I think this is a great platform to teach young people on how to build products and how to build businesses, like I said before. And I would always do it again.